The stages of pregnancy, fetal development by week. Okay, the first stage is conception, which the first technical week of your pregnancy is the last week you had your period. The second week of your pregnancy is your uterus lines itself with blood-rich lining of tissue to get ready for the fertilized egg, which happens even if you aren't planning on having a fertilized egg. It happens anyway. The eggs ripen in fluid-filled sacs, which are called follicles, and then week 3, the sperm meets the egg during this time. Once the sperm meets the egg, it's called a zygote, and there's a big possibility that you will not know you are pregnant for another couple weeks. Some women claim that they do know that they're pregnant right away, but for the most part, no. Okay, so week 4 is when the ball of cells is called an embryo now. An embryo is the size of a poppy seed at this time. It divides into 3 layers, which will later form organs and tissues. Early versions of the placenta and umbilical cord are already at work at this time. And at this point, if you take a pregnancy test at home, it should come back positive. Week 5 is when the heart is dividing into chambers and will start pumping blood soon. It looks more like a tadpole at this point than a human being. The kidneys, liver, and intestines are starting to develop at this point. The appendix is in place. The neural tube, which connects the brain and spinal cord, will close this week. And the small buds, where baby's limbs will develop eventually, are starting to develop. And then the small fold where the jaw will be develops. Baby's heart is beating about 150 beats per minute. The head is very, very disproportionate to the body, as you can see in the picture too. The facial features are starting to form, and limb buds become more present during this time. Muscles and bone tissues are starting to form. The pituitary gland in the brain continues to develop at this time, and mom may start to feel emotional, mood swings, get angry, and then feel joy. So, week 7, the embryo is the size of a blueberry. It has slightly webbed fingers and toes. The liver is producing large amounts of blood cells. Bone marrow forms. Teeth and palate are forming while ears continue to develop at this time. Skin is paper thin, and you can see the veins through the skin. And mom may have morning sickness or even start urinating frequently due to there being more on her bladder, more weight on her bladder at this time. Week 8, the embryonic tail is just about gone. Organs, muscles, and nerves begin to function. Hands begin to bend at the wrist while the feet lose the webbed appearance. Eyelids cover more of the eyes, but not quite all the eyes at this time. Taste buds are starting to form. Mom's breasts and waist begin to get bigger. Week 9, eyelids cover eyes and fuse till week 26. Earlobes are present, ankles develop, and fingers and toes are developed. Arms bend at the elbows. Genitalia starts to develop at this week. And mom should have her first antenatal appointment by this week, if she hasn't in previous weeks yet. Week 10, the embryo is finally called a fetus, which is a big step. The fetus starts to swallow the fluid and kicks the limbs. Liver, kidneys, intestines, brain, and lungs are fully formed and functioning at this point. Fingernails and peach fuzzy hair starts to develop. Outline of the spine is clear, and the forehead is disproportional to the rest of the body. And mom's uterus is the size of a grapefruit at this point. Week 11, the fetus has all of its parts. It's busy kicking and stretching. His main developing goal from here is to grow larger and stronger. Mom develops dark line of pigmentation on the belly called linea nigra, which it develops. It's kind of right by your belly button, and it kind of just goes down from your belly button to the top of like your pelvic area. And then Mom may have trouble sleeping also during this time. Reflexes. During week 12, reflexes are becoming more honed. Neurological connections in the brain, called synapses, are forming. Fetuses can close their fingers, curl toes, clench eye muscles, eyes move closer together, and ears are almost in the final position. Liver is making bile, and kidneys begin secreting urine into the bladder. Mom's appetite may start to come back if she hadn't had it due to the morning sickness or any other signs and symptoms of being pregnant. Week 13, the fetus is the size of a pea pod. Tiny fingerprints start to form. Sucking muscles in the cheeks are now developed, which the baby will use once it's born to feed. If you are having a girl, she has about 2 million eggs in her ovaries at this point, but only 1 million of the eggs will be with her once she is born. Mom's tummy does start to get rounded about week 13. Week 14, the body is growing faster than the head at this point. Skin is starting to develop, fine hair called lanugo. Eyebrow hair and the hair on the head begins to sprout. Fetus has facial expressions now, so they can cringe their nose and crinkle it up. Fetus can suck his thumb at this point. Fetus urinates frequently in the amniotic fluid around them, and mom should have about 2 ultrasounds by this point. Week 15, the fetus can get hiccups now, and all joints and limbs can move, and legs are longer than the arms now. Genitals may be able to be seen on ultrasound, but it is still early. Week 16, the fetus is about the size of an avocado. It enjoys playing with the umbilical cord, but it won't clinch it off so that it loses air. It'll let go before it loses air. Eyes have moved closer to the front of the head. The lungs inhale and exhale amniotic fluid, and mom may feel side pains, which should last about 3 weeks. If longer, they should go see their doctor. Week 17, the skeleton is mostly rubbery cartilage. Sweat glands begin to develop all over their body. Umbilical cord is growing stronger and thicker. And mom's center of gravity may have changed a bit, so she might want to take those high heels off and start wearing those flats or tennis shoes. Week 18, the chest moves up and down to mimic breathing in the fetus. Ears are in final position. The gender should be able to be revealed with an ultrasound at this point, unless the baby's blocking it. Mom should try and lay on her side at this point forward too, because she needs to not lay on the fetus at that point. Week 19, sensory development. So the fetus is starting to develop taste, smell, hearing, seeing, touching. The hair on the scalp continues to sprout. And mom finally is able to feel the fetus move. Week 20, slick fatty substance called vernix caseosa begins to cover the fetus, and the fetus starts to swallow more, and meconium starts to form in the fetus's bowel, which is the first bowel movement the baby will have. Week 21, eyebrows and eyelids fully developed and can blink. If you are having a boy, the testes will start to descend from the pelvis into the scrotum. Mom is usually feeling lots of baby movements and enjoying pregnancy during these next couple weeks. Week 22, legs are curled to the tummy, proportioned like a newborn, but the fetus is still very skinny. Skin is wrinkled and translucent, lips are distinct, and eyes are formed. Mom may have cravings, and will start to put on weight much faster starting at this week. Week 23, the fetus has now began to hear. Lungs become more developed, may be able to see the fetus squirm under mom's clothes. Mom's center of gravity may have shifted again at this point. Mom's belly button may have become an outie if it was an innie before. Taste buds are fully developed at week 24. The brain continues to grow. Footprints and fingerprints continue to form. Lungs are continuing to develop. Mom may be getting stretch marks. Mom may be having sensitivity to light in her eyes or dry eyes even. Week 25, the fetus starts to gain baby fat. and we do brain scans, and if all brain scans have come back that it starts to show response to touch. The optic nerve starts to work. You can start to shine a light from the outside of the mom's belly into the inside, and the fetus will move. So mom's fingers and wrists or hands could be achy or numb at week 25. Week 26, eyes begin to open. Fetus starts to take small breaths. Week 27, eyes open and close. The fetus sleeps and wakes at intervals. Lots of hiccups during this period. Mom may be having cramps, shortness of breath, or even hemorrhoids at week 27. Week 28, fetus blinks eyes and has developed eyelashes. The fat layers continue to develop, and bones are bones are almost fully developed, but they are still not hardened yet. Week 29, genitalia is continuing to grow, hair on the scalp is continuing to grow, reacts to sound and light, head becomes bigger, mom may have a hard time sleeping. Week 30, growth lengthwise starts to slow down now, and the lungs and digestive tract are almost fully developed. Week 31, the fetus is fully proportional. The fetus movements should plateau at this point, not stop, not slow down, just stay the same basically. Organs are continuing to mature, marrow is starting to produce red blood cells, and mom starts to gain lots of weight at this point. Week 32, the fetus is inhaling amniotic fluid, skin is becoming soft and smooth, and if it's a boy, the testes have descended into the scrotum finally. And the fetus is gaining lots of weight at this point. Week 32 also marks that if you were to have a preterm baby, most likely they would at this point survive. Week 33, fetus may be starting to turn the head downwards for birth. Plates of the bone that make up skull have not fused yet, and they won't until after birth, no matter how far along you are, just because it's easier to give birth if the skull is not fused. The fetus is starting to become less red and wrinkled. Mom's ankles may be swelling up. Week 34, the fetus continues to gain weight. Hearing is fully developed. Central nervous system is still maturing. Lungs are nearly developed. Week 35 develops daily activity cycles, fully developed kidneys, full-length fingernails and toenails. Mom may feel breathless and have indigestion. Week 36, fetus is starting to turn upside down to get ready for birth. Mom may be able to breathe and eat again just because the fetus is starting to drop, then her diaphragm's not getting squished. Mom's breast may be leaking milk at this point, and you're full term from week 36 and out and could go into labor at any point. Week 37 continues to gain weight and may start to turn upside down, getting ready for birth. This point forward, they may have a full head of hair. Lanugo and the vernix caseosa has started to disappear at this time. Week 38 continues to gain weight. Organ system is fully developed at this point. Week 39 continuing to gain weight. Outer layers of skin start to slough off as the new layers form underneath. And week 40, baby grows just a little more, and you may have slightly dry skin, or they may have slightly dry skin when they arrive, and mom may be anxious to meet her new little one.